So today, Jack Saunders joins me. Jack, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, mate, how are
Not bad. How are you?
you? I'm all good, thank you, mate.
I suppose we're both a bit stressed because of the things that just happen behind the scenes, but the, the things of wires, eh? But anyway, let's start. Let's gonna start us off then with your like early days. Like, who actually got you into football? Because you're pretty young, so you still got a big career ahead of you.
Yeah, I started football, gosh, like 4 or 5 years old. So obviously I'm 20 now, so I've been like around football like 15, 16 years. So yeah, I started football, and I mean the earliest of what I can remember is like my uncle coming into my house with a bag of balls and just saying, "Have fun." And I remember him coming, and he gave me a ball bag for all my balls, and I thought it was like the best thing in the world. I could carry just so many footballs. It was great. Um, but yeah, that was like my first, from what I can remember, first instance of football, and like it was just like every kid's dream, just to, like want to be a footballer. So yeah, I think that's where it all started. I just like started kicking the ball, started playing for my local team, and yeah, football just went on from there really.
So for me, I had these books. You've probably seen them before. They're like sort of biographies about your favorite player, like Mane or Salah or whoever it might be. And I
Yeah.
used to always read them and like be inspired by these guys. Was it the same for you? Like, did you look up to someone, or was it just always a case of just wanting to be on the pitch?
Um, it's funny you say that because I used to have like Beckham's biography.
Okay.
I used to like read through that, and like he like inspired me. Because he was a midfielder as well. I wanted to be a midfielder, and just like the way he'd pass the ball, it was what like interested me. And I think like even now, like the way because obviously that was back then, but even now, that's what I like work my game around on, like being the best passer with the ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say him is probably who I looked up to the most, really.
Well, the other day I actually uncovered all those books. I found them in a box somewhere, and I think I've got Beckham over there. So actually, we might have been read the same one. But
That's
so
quality.
yeah, no, it is, and I had to keep them up there. I didn't want to shove them back in the box. But for you, did you start off in a grassroots team, or did you go straight into an academy?
Yeah, oh God, I went straight into a grassroots team. It was just my local team. Like to be fair, like most kids, that's how they get into football, their local team. Yeah, went into there, and I think it was from my uncle that I got into Palace when I was 7 or 8, because I was in their pre-academy, and yeah, I spent a good few years there. I think I was there till I was 14, 15, somewhere around there. Um, so yeah, that was a really big part of my journey, just being involved with Crystal Palace, because yeah, at the time, obviously, I think when I was there, they went up to Premier League. So that was a big step for them and a big step for the academy. And you know, you're training around so many good players, like going up to like Manchester, Liverpool, like, facing all these teams, going on trips away. It was yeah. But again, like when I started and my local team, like I guess that's where you learn the fundamentals, and then being at Palace just takes you to another level.
Well, I think that's correct, but it's great that you came from a grassroots like background because obviously a lot of players don't. But with Crystal Palace, I suppose being in an academy at 7, 8, 9, you're not really thinking about being a professional footballer. But then once you hit like 13, 14, you might start aiming towards that. So for you to be at Palace around this time, what did it teach you compared to your grassroots team? What was the differences?
Um, I think it's the professionalism, like, and the what's it, the details that you get from being in the academy. Like, it's so different. Like, from what I can remember when I was at like a local team, it's just it's not as serious. Like, I mean, when you're 7, 8 years old, it's like you just want to have a kick about with your friends. That's all it is. And then when you're at an academy at 13, 14, that's when you start thinking, oh, maybe I can, because like you're looking at glimpses of the under 18s, the under 21s, and then glimpses of the first team, and you're like, maybe that could be me. Um, and then I think like especially when you're in the academy at that age, like that's when things start to get a lot more professional than when you're there in the under nines. Because yeah, again, it's just I think you change phases because they when you're in the academy, they have like different phases for different ages. And then I think it's past like under 12s. That's when they start getting serious, if you know what I mean.
Well, I hear a lot of things about different academies, and people have pros, people have cons. But I heard about Watford that the way that they deal with their youngsters was really, really high quality. So for Crystal Palace, I always go back to the thing where coaches or clubs and academies they want to make players like robotic almost, where they want them to fit into a certain style of play and all those sorts of things. So for you at Palace, looking back, did you ever think that that was like that, or did they just want you to play football?
Um, I mean, no, I think I was lucky with the coaches that I had at Palace, where they wanted you to just express yourself. Like especially like when you get into the final third, they were so big on just like get the ball, just do your thing. However it comes, just do your thing, and we'll win it back in our defensive third. That they were big on that from what I can remember. But I think like as you go up the years, I mean it does start getting more robotic, more tactic based because that's just how things are. Like the football I'm playing now, I wouldn't say it's robotic because you still have freedom, but you have patterns of play, you have styles of play that the gaffer wants you to do. So, but I think in the younger years, like they just give you a bit of freedom to express yourself because, like especially like 9, 10 years old, you just want to play football, and I don't think they're going to be talking about I don't know a 4-3-3 formation at 10 years old. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think the roboticness comes from just going up the years, and as you get older,
So I suppose it's just one of those things that everyone will come across sometime in
yeah,
there.
100%.
So you ended up at Welling after Crystal Palace. Is that how it went, or was there like a club in
Yeah.
between?
Yeah, 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 I ended up at Welling. Well, I was at another grassroots team called Lambeth Tigers for a bit because some of their coaches were at Palace, and I got along with them well. So I was there for a bit, and yeah, I had a coach called Reece Barker who when I was at Lambeth, he just was always looking at my games, looking at me, and he wanted to pull me over. But I was pretty loyal to them coaches. So I was like, no, no, I can't betray them, I can't betray them. But I think I needed to make the move because at the time, Welling were step two, National League South. So I had like inspirations of getting in their first team just to propel me on. Um, so yeah, I went to Welling 15s, and yeah, was it 15s and 16s? Yeah, that's when I was at Welling.
So for you, how did that actually come to an end at Crystal Palace? I suppose I should have asked that question before we moved on.
Yeah, 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 that's all good. Well, actually, I really remember it. I was in the changing room after the game, and then it was me and another lad, and the gaffer goes at the end. He goes, "Oh, Jack and I think it's Connor. I can't remember it." He goes, "Oh, can you stay behind?" I was like, "Oh no, no." And then he goes, "Like, obviously you're still on contract, but we just don't see you playing any minutes for us." He was like, "Obviously you can come in, you can train, but we don't see you playing." So I was like, obviously I came out of the changing room just crying like my life's over. Like, what am I gonna do? Um, so yeah, I didn't go back after that day. Um, and then yeah, that's when I made the move to Lambeth, and then spent a few months there, and then went over to Welling. But
Was there
I think, go on, go on.
was there not like the chance where you could have trained, you could have tried to prove yourself, or did you just feel like it was just a dead end?
I think I felt like it was a dead end because they weren't playing me much before, and I don't know. I just didn't feel like wanted at the club at that point. So I felt like it was like my chance to just go because to be fair, you raise a good point because who knows if I had another because it was in the middle of the season. So if I had like another great 6 months, who knows? I could still be at Palace. Like who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was just the time to move on because I don't think I was getting the minutes I wanted, and yeah, I think that was what it was. I just I wasn't feeling like wanted at the club. I think that's what it was.
Welling came up afterwards, as you mentioned, and they were in National League South.
Mm,
So for me, I feel like there's a really big gap between National League South and like the divisions below, quite obviously, but I think there is.
mm.
But at Welling, what did you expect, and what did you think came out of it in the end?
Um, so I came in there at the 15s, um, and yeah, the team we had, we basically like because it was we was playing like other National League teams, like Step Three teams. There was just a league of us all in there. Yeah, went there 15s, 16s, and like yeah, we bossed it. And then I think because I done almost a year as a first year scholar there. And I think especially in that year, that's when I wanted to just push into the first team, just to like get men's experience and just get me out there. But yeah, I had a fallout of Welling. That's one of the reasons I left because I think they like promised me that I'd obviously be training with the first team and all that. And I don't want this to sound like I'm speaking bad about Welling or whatever, because like I won't lie, it did propel me and they did help me out as a player. But I think because of the promises they made and like it didn't come to fruition, I just I thought it'd be another good time to move on again.
Well, I think that's fair enough because I think
Yeah.
if you are promised something as a player, I think that should firstly be honoured. But I suppose what I just sort of thought about is like 16 to maybe 20 is sort of like a golden time to push into a first. And we have seen 16-year-olds play at all sorts of levels before. But
Mm.
I suppose we do see like the Wayne Rooney's or we do see these players push into a team at 16. And then you're probably wondering, well, why am I not there at 18 or 19
Yeah.
or whatever it might be? So I get it. But so to sign a scholarship, firstly, could you explain to us what that is? And secondly, to be able to go there full time and to live that sort of environment, what was that like for
Yeah.
you?
I mean the scholarship that I signed, it was like a 16 to 18 program. It was like it's not like your League One, League Two championship scholarships where they're like getting paid for it full time and that. But yeah, so we do it was Monday to Friday, Wednesday games, and it was training full time with them, and then we done our education on the side. So like it would be like a day would be get in for like 8 o'clock, do do your work till like 10:30 or something, I think, and then do your training. That probably finishes about 1. Have your lunch, and then you're off. And
Sounds all
then
right.
like yeah, it sounds all right, decent day. But obviously you'd the serious ones would like we'd stay back after training, do a bit of extras, go to gym together. Um, because like sometimes you feel like the day finishes at like 12:01, still got the rest of the day left, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was an ideal day. And then obviously the Wednesday league, that was like my first experience like playing against like actual like older players because I was going in there as a first year and you're playing against teams that are like third year scholars. So they were 2 years above me, some were 3 years. And yeah, you just learn like more physicality because them third years were on a Saturday playing men's football. So they were taking their men's football ability into the Wednesday league. So yeah, but I thought that was a good experience for me. Um, but yeah, that was like my first taster, I guess, of full time football.
And then Dorking came up afterwards, which is obviously where you are now.
Yeah,
How did that one come about? Because obviously you mentioned that Welling sort of expired for you, that you sort of wanted to move on.
yeah. I So Reece Barker, the coach that I had at Wellings 15 to 16s, he didn't go on to scholar program. He left and got the Dorking B team job. And like me and him have always been in close contact since when I left Palace. So he contacted me. I think he rang me and he was like, I might have an opportunity here for Dorking B. And at that time they were playing step six of men's football. So it was like a chance for me to actually get into men's football as a start and um, have an opportunity to play for Dorking because the pathway at Dorking is definitely much there, much better than Welling. And I think in that time they were in the promotion battle to go to National League. So I was like, oh, they're going to be step one now. This is tasty. Um, so yeah, obviously I was having chats with him, and I think they done an open trial, and there was two open trials, and yeah, I went to them both, and yeah, I got into Dorking B, and he was my gaffer there, so yeah, that helped a lot.
Well, Dorking's obviously quite an interesting club with Mark Wright and the
Of
whole
course,
environment of it, because I do feel like from the outside looking in, there are quite a lot of young players in that environment. Although Mark, I'm sure, says that he doesn't like to play them.
yeah, there was yeah, Mark's a good gaffer. Mark's a good gaffer. I mean, there's not no, I don't think there was a lot of young players, especially like when I first went into Dorking. I think they had like I think the what do you call it? The average age was near enough like 30 something. Um, so it wasn't a young squad, but I mean you look where they're at. They must be doing something right. Um, yeah, so no, I don't think it's not always been a young squad, but I think as the years progressed, like 'cause this is my third season, yeah, third season, and yeah, I think as the years progressed, he's got more open, especially the people around him. He's got more open about you like using and utilizing youngsters, and you see like especially this season, like I played my first 90 and started on the weekend. I got off the bench on Monday against Tonbridge, so he's definitely like looking at us in a more positive way, which is good.
I spoke to Ross McNeely not long ago, so I don't know if you were you with him at the
Yeah, yeah,
game. Or,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
spoke to him, and again, he only has positive things to say about Mark. But
yeah,
you joined Dorking as sort of the same thing, like education program, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, and working around that as well. Was it sort of the same thing at Welling? Like, what were you actually learning on the side? Or I know you don't want to learn, you just want to play football, but what were you
Yeah.
learning?
It was it was like a sport B tech.
Okay,
So yeah, I can't
can't remember
actually I
though.
can't actually remember much of it. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was like oh, I'm not doing a good service for the club here. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, what you can imagine like a sport B tech would be like you learn about the anatomy of the body, health, mental well-being. Um, yeah, I can't remember a lot of it. This is so bad. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, the course that I went on, like the coaches are like half teachers, half coaches. So you build
Was
a
Ross one of
relationship with
them?
them. No, he was first team. He was the
Oh
first team
right,
coach.
yeah.
He was first team head coach. I done my course when I was in the academy with them. And yeah, you build like just a good relationship with the coaches, obviously, and some of them are your teachers. So yeah, I mean, it's an all right course, and you get help when you need it, so it's not too bad. And like you're with your mates, and you play football after, so can't complain.
Yeah, it can't be that bad. So you joined the B team and you were with the academy, right? So again, to work on and really try and push on, is there like a clear pathway to push on? Because again, you're sort of in that like 16 to 18, 19-year old where you're just,
Mm.
I want to push on to the first team. What have I got to do to get there?
I felt like at Dorking, there really was a pathway because when I first came in, I met with the academy director, Jordan Clark, and like one of the first things he said to me was, "There is a pathway for you." Um, I literally have it in one of the voice notes he first sent me. He was like, "There's a pathway for you," and to be fair, I've trusted him this whole time that I've been at Dorking, and I can't say a bad word about him really. He has helped me so much with Dorking, especially like pushing me on into the first team. Like when I um when I first came, obviously I was in the B team, and Jordan was the one that was getting me to train with the first team. Like even just like little snippets like that, just so the gaffer knows you're there. The gaffer like puts a name to the face. He can I'm sure I've said that wrong, face to name, but
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, there's definitely a pathway there, especially now. Like, like as I said before, as the years progress, like the circle round the gaffer is trying to implement youngsters, and yeah, it's definitely working. It's definitely working, and I definitely feel as like the years progressed, I've got better as a player, which has allowed me to be for the gaffer to trust me more as I've got better.
So in 2023, you signed like a first team sort of contract, but you went out on loan. So to sign that contract, I suppose, really cemented that there is a future for you at Dorking.
Mm.
But to go on loan, where is Redhill? Because to me, that sounds like a northern place, but it's probably not.
It's God,
Because I know like Dorking, South London, Welling is. Oh, Welling's not in London, is it? It's just outside.
Wellington, London, and Dorkings in Surrey. So
Oh, got that one wrong.
um, right, let's try and do a map here. So
Yeah,
let's say London's like here. Yeah,
yeah,
say
yeah.
London's here. Dawkins, I've butchered this. Dawkins like here.
Okay,
Sorry,
that's all right.
and then Redhill's like here.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's awful. Jesus, sorry, no, I'm just get it off.
that's all right.
That is awful. Um, yeah. So it's not too far. I think it was from Dorking. It was like 20 minutes, half an hour,
Okay, okay.
and it was
So,
close. It was closer to my home.
and what step was that?
That was step five. So I just went up a level. But that was because that move to Redhill was because of Jordan. He um he went into his I mean he went to Allfold when I was with the B team for like a few months. And this was like his first big move, I think. He got the Redhill gig and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you over." And basically because I signed my first deal with the first team, he was like, "I want you to have a good loan for your first year." So yeah, basically he took me there and just basically guided me through men's football, being a mentor, helping me in that. Um, so yeah, I think yeah, that's how the Red Hill move occurred.
That's the thing. You've got to praise the English football pyramid, right? There's so many teams up and down the country that are playing Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, and Red Hill's probably the same thing. So I suppose for you
Yeah.
to again play on that consistency, get men's team football in. What was the tempo like? Because for me as a manager or for me as a player, I want to play in a fast-paced environment. So is that the same for you? And what was Red Hill like?
So you know what was good for me? I was training with the first team. Like when I got my first deal, I had done a whole pre-season with the first team while training with Red Hill. Um, and what was good for me was to take the intensity and the quality from the first team into Red Hill because at that point there was yeah, it was step one compared to step five. So it was four levels different. The physicality was better, the intensity was better, the quality was better. So it's like you don't lose. Like say I was at Redhill the whole time, maybe I would have lost a bit of sharpness. I don't know, but I was training with Dorking, where the standard was super high, and then I was also able to get valuable men's team minutes at Redhill. So, but I think the big someone asked me this the other day, and I think the biggest thing is just like the quality and just yeah, quality, the fitness, the sharpness. But I think as you go up the levels, that's you expect more of it. Like you expect the ball to be moved quicker, the reactions to be sharper. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Last season, you finished your season at Ashford. So that's another club. Where's that? Do you want to just tell us where that is as well?
That's in Kent, like down in Kent.
That's near Surrey, no?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
I'm good at the flags. I'm not good at maybe like locating where places are, especially in
Yeah,
England. But
yeah,
so you joined Ashford, and again,
yeah.
I suppose for you, you just want to play that men's team football, and you finished
Mm,
mid-table. You finished 11th. So was that a good season? What was your expectations? Because now you're playing in a full-time environment,
mm.
sort of thing. You need to hit these expectations, or full-time for a scholar like you.
Um, so yeah, that was my second. So I got my second deal, and I went straight on loan. So there was no pre-season with the first team. I went straight on loan to Ashford. Um, that was I got told about that when I was doing off-season training, and Barry Fuller. I don't know if you've heard of him. You might have heard of him.
No.
No, okay,
So,
lovely.
sorry, Barry. Sorry.
Yes, he was Dorking right back at the time, and he was best pals with the gaffer that was going into Ashford, Danny Kedwell. Um, yeah, and he was like, "Jack's a good player. You should get him down." So yeah, I went down there, done the whole pre-season with them, and only done 6 months with them because I uh, I had a Surrey Cup game in December for Dorking, and they called me up for it, and then I played really well in that game, and they were short of midfielders at the time, so they recalled me, and then because something to do with the FA or something, I wasn't allowed to be recalled until the loan ended, and it was only a 6 month loan. Um, but I mean, I'll tell you the other part of the story, but I'll just recall all my time at Ashford. So that 6 months I was at Ashford, that was probably like some of like the best football that I developed in. That I was around a really good squad. And I know it's only step four, but like I was with Lee Martin, who played for Manchester United, James Dunn, who like won the Scottish FA Cup. Like these were like experienced players, and obviously Danny Kedwell, the gaffer, he played for Wimbledon and won playoff finals with them. Um, but yeah, the gaffer there really trusted me and really supported me when I was there. And to be fair, step four is not a bad level at all. And yeah, I felt like I really developed there and just got a lot better. But yeah, when I got recalled on my last game for Ashford, I dislocated my shoulder. So that was the end of that. So I stayed at Dorking for my rehab. That was 2 months of rehab, and I was just gunning to get back because obviously they recalled me, and some of their midfielders were injured at the time. So I was like, "Oh, I just want to get back. I just want to get back. I need to get playing." And I was pestering the physio at the time, and he wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. He wanted me to rest. Um, but there was the game I came back. It was on the 25th of February, and the gaffers put me on, and then 10 minutes in, I broke my ankle. So the end of the last 6 months of that season was yeah brutal. I barely touched the ball. Um, so yeah, that's when I went on to obviously um, in the off season trying to get better because that
Well,
ankle was rough.
well, yeah. Well, obviously, I suppose it's just luck of the draw, right? Where all the midfielders in the team are injured. You've tried to come back in, and everything was in your way. So after that, then coming back, I suppose we're now talking about this season. So this season, I suppose pre-season for you, as you mentioned, you were recovering, you went away, but you said pre-season was quite short as well. No, your break was quite short
Off
pre-season. You wanted
season,
to,
off
yeah,
season, yeah.
that's what I meant.
So it was I think the season ended in April or late
It
April, I
ended really
think.
early, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. The season ended quite early, and like the playoffs, they have put like the semi, the quarter. I think does it go quarter final and semi? Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thought so. Yeah, they went really quick. I think there was like a week or two after, and then there was this chunk. I think it was like 2 weeks that we had to wait for the playoff final. Actually, we weren't in that, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I don't know why I'm saying that. No, we had a Surrey Senior Cup game, and that was the final I'm talking about. Surrey Cup final, and that was I can't remember, but that was I think it was like third week of May. So like a lot of teams would have broken up by then. Um, so that was that, and then yeah, we finally had our off season, which I think was about 5 weeks, and it just for me it went really quick. It just went really quick, and I think because obviously I had that ankle that I didn't really give myself a break. I just wanted to strengthen the ankle, get back on the balls, get back fit. I think that was why I didn't feel like it was a break at all because I didn't really want to give myself a break. Um, Obviously, when I broke my ankle, I was a month off feet, and then the next month I was basically trying to walk again and run again. Um, but yeah, I think I just use the off season as basically pre-season. Um, yeah, that's why it felt short for me.
Well, for you then, I suppose I've been seeing a lot of things online that you've been classed and you've got the potential to reach the EFL and even potentially higher. So for you, what is that like to hear those sorts of appraisals onto your name?
Yeah, when when kids put that out, I think I sent a message just thanking him because like it's such a big statement to make. It's such a big statement to make, and like from him, like an experienced pro to say that, it was just yeah, it was really nice to hear. And some of the coaches at the club like commended me for it, and word got back of how good the loan actually was and how well I performed. But yeah, hearing that is like it was a great feeling. I remember showing my mum and dad just being like, "Look what he said," and it was just yeah, a really nice feeling.
Well, I suppose you want to put the work in, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
That's the motivation to keep on going. And this season for you has been short already. There's only 5 games played, but you've already, as you mentioned, played 90 minutes and really making your mark. So for you this season, then, do you reckon you'll stay with Dorking? Because obviously the window's still open. National League
Mm.
always. You can move and leave. So for you, do you want to stay at Dorking, and is the path clear for you to make a set amount of first team appearances this season?
Yeah, I think for me, like, yeah, I want to be consistent with Dorking 100%. Like, I want to definitely fight for a starting place. Like at the moment, the squad's shallow, um, as the gaffer's like mentioned loads of times. But it just gives me an opportunity to show the gaffer like what I can do. And the last two appearances I've made, I feel like I've really done myself a good justice. So yeah, I mean, I'd hope to definitely be consistently around Dorking, 100%.
Well, there's a lot of good teams in your division, and there's a lot of good players as well. I mean, for
Mm.
example, I spoke to Adam Thompson, who represented Northern Ireland, plays for Enfield Town. So that's going to be a good one for you, right, to put
Yeah.
yourself up against these people. And I suppose for you as well, the sky's the limit. So if you look into the future, obviously you've still got 15 years left as a player. You'd like to hope, but as a coach, do you see yourself going into that sort of route? And I suppose in your career, could you go down that route as well?
You know, I've never thought of it. We've had to do like obviously with our sport BTEC, you have to do some sort of coaching. And I remember coaching like little kids and they just wouldn't listen. And it was just
I mean,
I don't
that's a
think
bit.
that
I think that's a bit brutal to put you with like the little kids though, because obviously they're not going to listen. But
yeah, yeah, true. I don't know. I've never really like pictured myself coaching, you know. I don't know, maybe it's something I might grow into, but yeah, at the moment it was I've never really thought about it, but yeah, who knows? Maybe in 20 years time, who knows? Get into
Dorking
it.
are Dorking are quite unique. So obviously they've got a bunch of amateurs, and hence why Dorking are quite well known as a club is because of social media. For the cameras to be shoved in your face and shoved in the changing room and things like that, what's it like for you?
Um, I think because I've been at Dorking for like 3 years now, it's you honestly get used to it. Like Rich is he's such a good guy. He's so funny and he's just like so down to earth. And like you can talk to him if something happened and you didn't want it in the video, you could easily go up to him and be like, Rich, please just like leave it out, please. Um, but no, it's you honestly get used to it. Like there's like I think there's like 4 or 5 GoPros in the change rooms when we walk in, and at this point you don't notice them. You honestly don't notice them. And Rich like he walks around with this massive camera, and yeah, it gets to the point where you're just like, oh, it's Rich with his camera again. Like it's just like so usual now.
I'm sure I saw something where their equipment got stolen. So, do you remember
Yeah,
that or not? I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So, but
was
I suppose for players and the coaches around, it's good to get your name out. I remember Bobby Joe Taylor. He had a few words to say on the camera as well. But so for you then, obviously this season, how do you think it's gone so far? Because I believe Dorking really want to push up the league, and
mm.
perhaps this season's not got off to the strongest of starts.
Um, no, like I mean, the gaffer had an interview today, and he got asked the same question about this month, and he was like we've underachieved, and I think as players we feel the same just because like you look at the games we've like lost in, um, we've been flying with possession stats. Like it's always been the games where like when we lost to Hampton 3-0, I think I can't remember the possession, but I think it was like 77%, and they had 2 shots and scored 3 goals. And we had like 16 and the score ended 3-0. So I think like a lot of the games are like with such high possession because we're a ball based team. Um, yeah, we have such high possession, and yeah, I think like we've definitely underachieved. We want more, and I think we 100% we will get more, especially as the months go along. But yeah, it's been not the best start, but yeah, 100%. I mean, we can turn it around 100%.
It's still got months left to go.
Exactly that.
There's so many leagues around the world. There's so many weird and wacky places that you could end up. Do you ever consider yourself going abroad? I always say Gibraltar, but I know that's a really weird thing to just kind of say. That there is reasons, but you won't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? As a kid and like when I was younger, I've always wanted to play abroad. Always wanted to play abroad. Yeah, I've always dreamt of playing in Spain. Like when I've spoke to my parents and like people have asked me like, have you ever wanted to play abroad? And I've always said yeah. Always. I just like what an unbelievable job playing football in the hot sun. Wow, getting a tan on.
Well,
Beautiful.
there's something you could go to Gibraltar. It's basically England in the hot weather. I don't know if you know, but they speak English. It's English
Yeah.
everything. So you may as well head over there, I think, and get a name and reputation. Believe me, there's so many good people. There's so many. The
Yeah.
environment's great over there. But look, Jack, the last thing I wanted to ask is, where is the dream club you'd like to play for? I know you're probably going to tell me like a Premier League club, right? But
Yeah.
and what's the reason as to why? And I think it's probably going to be Tottenham. But go on, tell me.
Wow, it's not Tottenham. It's definitely not
Oh,
Tottenham. No. By the way, fun fact about Gibraltar.
yeah.
Um, their skipper actually plays for Dorking, Louis Annesley.
Really?
Yeah, the national
Oh,
team
we'll
skipper.
have to get him
Yes.
on the podcast then. Okay.
Yeah. 100%. I'll put in a word for you.
Absolutely.
Um, my dream club. You know what? I've never really had like a dream club. I won't lie. It's always been like I've always dreamt of playing for a team in Spain. Like or like on like no word of a lie. I've always wanted to play in Spain because I feel like since I was young, it's just suited me. Like ball on the floor, passing it around, bit of tiki taka. Like that's me. I was like I love that.
What about the food
Um,
as well? What about the food? Like paella and things like
I've never tried paella. I'm sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. I've never tried paella, but I'm sure they can dish me up something nice. Sure they could.
You'd like to hope so, wouldn't you? Look, Jack, it's been an
Yeah, I'd hope
absolute
so.
pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll definitely head down to a Dorking game this season, perhaps Enfield, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
supporting you and best of luck.
No, I appreciate it, Jamie, and yeah, thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed it.